Hello, welcome to Principles of Yoga Instruction. My name is Angelique. We are going to be continuing our discussion on the student. Who is your student? One thing I want you to think about is identifying your agenda for the student compared to their agenda for themselves. In our last video, we talked about the culture of the community, the intention of your student, what they are coming to class for, and honoring that. In a more specific way, this is also one reason that it's so important to maintain your own practice. When you maintain your own practice, you can identify when your own ego issues arise as a teacher, because you're doing that work on your own mat already. So that when you're in the room working with a student, the students are going to trigger your own stuff. Right? That student might remind you of your best friend or your mom or your ex-boyfriend, and it will bring up stuff for you that you experience through those relationships. And through your own practice, you can develop that self-awareness to be like, that's my shit, I'm triggered by this moment, that's mine, that's my ego, I need to identify it, set it aside so that I can face the student with as clean a slate as possible. Right? It's not possible to completely eliminate the ego, but through your own practice, you can identify your own ego issues as they arise so that to the best of your ability, you can set them aside in the moment so that you can face your student as neutrally as possible, right? Because they're dealing with their own stuff. You're there to help them through their stuff, not the other way around, right? So once you can do that, okay, you've identified that your ego arose, see it, look at it, set it aside. Okay, what am I dealing with the student right now, right? Oftentimes we can see them entering a pose, we can see what's happening in the body, and we can see what's possible and where this could go, right? How strong they really are, even though they don't realize it, or how open they really are if they would just relax a little bit. Identify that as your agenda for the student, and then tune into their experience, right? It doesn't matter if they could go deeper, if they would just relax, if they're experiencing intense fear or anxiety, and that's what's causing the tension. If you trying to show them that their limits are much further than they realize, but they believe in those limits that they're holding on to, injury can happen. Right? This can damage the trust in the relationship between the two of you. It's more important for you to tune in to what they're showing you about what they're experiencing in the moment. Even if what you can see and perceive about it is, say, different truth, right? Because as teacher, it's the hope that we can see what's possible before they can see it. But we are aiming to guide them towards that vision of possibility, not force it on them. Recognize your own agenda for the student is different than their agenda for themselves in the moment. And you're trying to, rather than drag them into your vision of what is possible, you're trying to open their eyes to it so that they willingly walk towards it with confidence, with trust, and this will result in not only a safer experience for the student, but one that further deepens the trust and connection between you and them, right? That teacher-student relationship. I knew that my teacher, Kina, was my teacher because she knew what I was capable of long before I did. But I never felt rushed to that. I felt that her confidence in me rose my confidence to meet it. Not that I was forced to do something that I didn't feel ready for. Show them what's possible rather than dragging them to it, right? This is why it's so important to maintain your practice. This is why it's so important to honor your student as they are right now.